Good morning and welcome to The Lyric Professors. I am Professor A, and behind me and below me, as always, is a very hot Professor Dogger. You may expire during this video. And on the other side of the world is Professor J. How are things on the other side of the world, Professor J?
Equally hot. Equally hot. It's lovely summertime.
Well, here it's pleasant outside, but in here with my computer struggling to run OBS and stuff, it's about 10 degrees hotter than it is outside, which is
Okay.
the issue here. Yes, I need to look into air conditioning, I think.
Yeah, I'm above my garage, which has 0
Right, yes.
insulation, and as you can see, it's all wood. So it's like an oven in here.
Yeah.
Afternoons.
Not
There we go.
Anyway,
okay.
As you can see, we have a strange woman bottom right with light coming out of her ears for some reason or other. That woman is Bonnie Tyler, and we are going to be looking at one of her videos today. This is the choice of Professor J, so I will let him introduce it further.
Okay, Professor A, what is the greatest year for music? What was the greatest year for music?
1987.
Incorrect. Well, why did you say 1987?
Appetite for Destruction came out. Metallica album came out, can't remember which one. Lots of things. Spectres by Blue Oyster Cult came out.
Okay. Well, I had to create a track list for a 1983 celebration last year. And I struggled to keep the best tracks down to below 50.
I'm aware you have this problem.
I think that we could argue that 1983 is the greatest year ever for music.
Quite possibly.
Anyway, today we have chosen an undisputed worldwide banger with an undisputed, absolutely mad as a box of frogs video.
Yes, indeed. It certainly is a sight for sore eyes.
Yeah. Can I also just preface this whole thing by saying them were different times? Is it okay to say that? Shall I get that in now?
Yeah, they were indeed different times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's all a bit suspect.
Yes, well, if you look at the people who were presenting Top of the Pops at that time, it's hardly surprising, is it? Yes.
Okay, so I'd like to start with my go through of my impression of the video. It's the short version. Would you like it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
This is a very controversial order of ceremony, but yes, go there.
I want to get it on because I want to do some more later. Okay. Big Gothic house. Ooh, we zoom in. Windy white room. Oh, those candles look dangerous with all that lace around. There's a dove in slow-mo. Some things are dangling in a church. Some look a bit like balls. Oh, there's a moon. Oh, there's some booze. It all looks empty. A dark door opens. It's a school kid with laser eyes. He's walking down a long corridor. Some schoolboys in class. Oh, they're surprised to see her. Another door opens. There's a weird Harry Potter clone. He's got a dove. Somebody throws some water on some swimmer boys. Oh, look, there's some ninjas. Some prep boys are drinking. They go, cheers. Oh, no, they've spilled their drinks. Then there's acrobatics. And then fencing. It's always backlit. Why is it always backlit?
It's the 1980s, mate.
Then there's the Fonz. It's the Fonz and his clones. They're coming up the stairs. They're walking a bit like zombies. And then there's some random American football players.
Yeah.
More corridors ping open. Doors, more corridor. Doors swing open. There's more kind of naked men slash young men. Some prep boys are eating a meal. Oh, they've made a terrible mess of their food. It's gone everywhere. One of the guys who was doing all the fencing takes his helmet off, and a gallon of sweat or some sort of liquid comes out.
That's true.
There's an army of choir boy clones with laser eyes. One of them flies like a vampire. Oh no,
Ooh.
there's some schoolboys. Oh no, their clothes fall off. It's so windy. Why is it so windy? Then there's some sort of dance fighting with the clothes falling off schoolboys, or is it the Fonzies? We're not sure. But they're wearing big sort of black leather nappies. I can work
What's
out.
that? That's their small sumo wrestlers.
An angel comes behind her with wings and wraps around her. That bit all finishes. Suddenly we are outside the building. It turns out it's a school and it's daylight, and she's been introduced by clearly the head teacher. Is she a teacher? She's been introduced to the class one by one, shaking hands. One of them has got laser eyes and he sings, Turn Around Bright Eyes. Is it Gianfranco Zola?
Apparently not, unfortunately.
Yeah. And there we go. That is it. That is a bang. I mean, that's got to be the best, one of the best 80s videos.
It's a great video if you like really weird videos. I wouldn't say it's the best. Yes, it's
I mean, there's a lot going on, and a lot of it is fun, and a lot of it is a bit suspicious, and we'll try and stay away from those subjects as much as possible.
Should point out it's not actually a school building, it's a Holloway sanatorium.
Even better.
Which was, used for detaining people with mental health problems back in the day. It's near Virginia Water in Surrey. Never heard of Virginia Water. You'd think it'd be in Holloway, really, wouldn't you?
Yeah. There is the Royal Holloway.
Yes.
Which is a biomedical school, I think. West of London. Is that Egham?
No.
I don't know.
Possibly. Yeah, okay. It's a great video. It doesn't really have anything to do with what the song is supposed to. Okay, no. There's a wasp she's trying to kill. What was I saying? No, it
doesn't have anything to do with the
with the story of what it's meant to be. But I think we need to do the lyrics for before that.
Yeah. Okay. But should we dive into Bonnie Tyler, as it were?
Well,
first.
Yes, certainly.
So, Bonnie Tyler is not her real name. Did you know that?
I did know that. I also know she went under another stage name before she picked Bonnie Tyler.
Indeed. She was born Gaynor Hopkins in 1951 in Neath in Wales. And she came from a very humble background. Her father was a coal miner. She grew up in a council house with 3 sisters and 2 brothers. She left school age 16 with no qualifications, working in a grocery shop. And her aunt entered into a local talent competition in 1969. Interestingly, she finished second behind an accordionist. And she decided to take up singing. She found work as a backing singer for Bobby Wayne and the Dixies. You were Bobby Wayne and the Dixies?
I am not, no.
I mean,
I have to say that if I had come second to an accordionist, it wouldn't convince me that I was right to pursue a career in singing. It would convince me to find another hobby, I think.
These were the 60s. These were different times.
True.
That's right. Yep. And then she changed her name to Shireen Davis to avoid being confused with Welsh folk singer Mary Hopkin. Yeah, I mean that's where it all starts. I mean, she has got a lot of mega bangers.
Think of 3, maybe.
Okay, which ones can you think of?
This one, Holding Out for a Hero, and didn't she write the Gillette advert? Best a man can get.
Best a man can get. That's on TV over here. It's quite weird hearing it in a different language.
Yeah. I think she wrote something that was based on. I could be wrong.
Yeah, so she did Lost in France, Total Eclipse of the Heart. I'm just going through her singles. Oh no, I've missed out a decade. Lost in France, More Than a Lover, which I know. It's a Heartache. It's a Heartache.
Oh, right.
Total Eclipse of the Heart. She covered Have You Ever Seen the Rain? Where's the really Hold It Out for a Hero?
Clearwater
I mean,
Creedence Clearwater Revival, whatever it is.
indeed.
Great song.
Fogarty. I mean, she's got 5 or 6 well-known bangers, and he was on Islands with Mike Oldfield.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, she has done a lot of stuff. Not a lot of stuff. Should we go into lyrics and come back to how it was written?
Okay, if you'd like.
Okay. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely, and you never coming round. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of listening to the sound of my tears.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Carry on.
Coaster disaster. Yeah, so she's seeing a guy, presumably, and he's not really reciprocating. Is that what it is?
Possibly. Her view of what it's about seems to differ very heavily from the guy who actually wrote it, which of course is
Right.
Mr. Jim Steinman, who we have mentioned before in our Sisters of Mercy episode. You can always tell a Jim Steinman song. It always ends with a massive piano-y bit. And it's very pomp and circumstance. And basically, he's best known for working with Meatloaf, I guess, but he's obviously worked with a lot of other people, including Sisters of Mercy and Bonnie Tyler. So I've got a lot of quotes from Bonnie Tyler that she has posted to the Genius Lyrics website. She is a verified commentator on there.
That's amazing that she's commenting on her own songs. I think that is.
Yeah. Well, Poppy did as well, but only her early ones, not the ones we reviewed. But
okay.
Those are the only 2 artists I've seen do it. Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, so her statement for the formation of this song is in 1969, during his final year as a student at Amherst College in Massachusetts, Jim Steinman wrote a rock and roll musical called The Dream Engine. The turnaround Bright Eyes refrain originates from one of the musical songs, Come in the Night. In 2016, Meatloaf and someone whose name I can't pronounce recorded the song under a new title, Skull of Your Country, for Meat's album Braver Than We Are. So it's a recycled bit of lyrics. And we mentioned that in Sisters of Mercy episode that Steinman did recycle stuff a lot in the musical version of the song War from Sisters of Mercy was used in a musical he did about Batman. So
yeah,
he does like to reuse elements of his stuff. And the turnaround Bright Eyes bit comes from that. We haven't had the Bright Eyes yet, but we've had turnaround. And
what does it mean, the Bright Eyes?
Well, Bonnie Tyler doesn't know, so I don't know.
Okay.
Well, obviously, in the video, there's boys with lasers coming out their eyes.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, huh?
It's not a reference to Art Garfunkel's song about rabbits, I presume.
Okay. Do you want a quote from Steinman?
Oh, I'd love one.
With Total Eclipse of the Heart, I was trying to come up with a love song. And I remembered I actually wrote that to be a vampire love song. Its original title was Vampires in Love, because I was working on a musical of Nosferatu, the other great vampire story. If anyone listens to the lyrics, they're really like vampire lines. It's all about the darkness, power of darkness, and love's place in the dark.
Yeah, if we can just mentioning the Nosferatu, quote from Bonnie Tyler about her first time meeting Jim Steinman. It was a surreal experience meeting Jim for the first time, but we all got along really well. We discovered that we had very similar music tastes. We were both interested in Phil Spector's Wall of Sound production technique. He played me Have You Ever Seen the Rain by Creedence Clearwater Revival and Going Through the Motions by Blue Oyster Cult. Jim asked me if I liked the songs. I said I did. He later told me that if I'd said no, he wouldn't have gone ahead. He wanted to know we were on the same page.
Right.
Going Through the Motions by Blue Oyster Cult is a great little pop song. It's on the Spectres, and the last song of Spectres is a song called Nosferatu. So
Ah.
it's a little bit of a connection. Besides, I like bringing Blue Oyster Cult into everything because I like them a lot.
Yes. Yes.
So it's a
I
vampire
had
song,
a
basically.
yeah.
But she doesn't seem to, with some of the things she says, she doesn't feel the vampire bit herself.
I'll tell that to the video makers because
Right.
it looked very vampire-y to me. All right, more words. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit nervous. That's the best of all the years have gone by. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit terrified, and then I see the look in your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, if it's about vampires, then best of all the years have gone by. They're meant to be immortal, practically. So thinks there will be more years in the future. So perhaps this is someone who thinks the best of the years have gone and is about to be turned into a vampire.
Yeah.
Yes. Well.
Okay, more words. Turn around, bright eyes. Every now and then I fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of it. I mean, it's kind of repetitions of the same thing. Every now and then I get a little bit restless and I dream of something wild. I get a little bit helpless and I'm lying like a child in your arms.
Yeah. Do you want to quote about, well, partially about the second verse and partly about the video?
Please.
Again, from Bonnie Tyler herself. The emotions are heightened in the second verse, where before she was lonely, tired, nervous, and terrified, she's now feeling restless, helpless, angry, and still terrified.
Mm-hmm.
More instruments are introduced here: drums, bass, and some gentle sigh-like backing vocals. In the music video, they used a lighting effect to give the schoolboys glowing eyes. We filmed the video at Holloway Sanatorium, a former Victorian Gothic hospital near London. It's all apartments now. It took 2 days to film. Jim Steinman wrote the storyboard and Russell Mulcahy directed. I remember he was the guy who did Highlander. They used to do electroshock treatment at the hospital. It was strange because the security guards brought in some dogs to guard the filming equipment. The dogs wouldn't walk past the thresholds of certain rooms. It was like they sensed something. The whole place had a very eerie feel. So it's all very spooky.
Wow.
Dogs are very sensitive creatures to that kind of thing.
Indeed. I wonder if the people who now live there know this.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So more words. Turn around. I get a little bit angry, and I know I've got to get out and cry. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit terrified, but then I see the look in your eyes. Turn around, bright eyes. Every now and then I fall apart.
And a songwriting quote from Bonnie Tyler. The key change when we arrive at the chorus is very dramatic. We move from E major to A flat major, which musically speaking are far apart from each other. As the chorus goes on, the melody notes become progressively higher in line with the increased tension. A guitar bit, we didn't have a guitar bit at the beginning. Any thoughts?
They are really different.
Yeah. So that's, she says, that's becoming progressively higher in line with the increased tension. So there's a
So
technique.
yeah, so it's raised. Everything's raised a major third. Interesting. Interesting. How does that work?
I don't know.
Seems so magic music.
Well, it did work
Yeah.
though.
Still does work. Okay. More words. And I need you now tonight. I need you more than ever. And if you only hold me tight, we'll be holding on forever. And we'll only be making it right. We'll never be wrong. Together, we can take it to the end of the line. Our love is like a shadow on me all of the time.
Yeah. And now we get to the quote where she doesn't see it as being a vampire thing.
Okay.
Some people think this song is about a vampire, but I've never understood that interpretation. Jim did once tell Playbill that he had been working on a musical interpretation of the silent film Nosferatu. I've always thought of Total Eclipse as an impassioned love song. Jim did eventually include the song under the name Totally Finsternis in his 1997 music Tanz der Vampire, sung entirely in German. I performed an English-German duet version of that song with Florian Silbereisen in 2014. So she thinks it's a love song, but he thinks it's a vampire song.
Okay. Right. No words. I don't know what to do. I'm always in the dark. We're living in a powder keg and giving off sparks. I really need you tonight. Forever's gonna start tonight.
Yes, living in a powder keg and giving off sparks is quite dangerous, I should think.
It is. It's gonna blow up.
That's
Right.
quite a good line.
Gunpowder.
I like that.
Really good line.
Come back to that on the power.
And this is the bit. This is the big crescendo piano bit that you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
And then,
it's definitely about vampires, isn't it?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So that's the big crescendo, and then it calms down to this very quiet piece.
Melancholy, maybe. Yes.
Melancholy. I could go for that. Once upon a time, I was falling in love. Now I'm only falling apart. Nothing I can do. Total eclipse of the heart.
Yeah. Once upon a time, obviously being the traditional start of a fairy tale. But this has not got a fairy tale ending. His heart's been totally eclipsed.
And I think that's all the words is. There's
Well, there's
repetitions.
once upon a time there's light in my life. Now there's only love in the dark.
Oh, how did I miss that one? Yes. Well, Yeesh.
And again, which could suggest the vampire, because obviously they hang out in the dark and don't go in the light. Yeah.
You know what? The version I got does not have those words in
In
it.
fact, there's a third verse as well. You've obviously done the single version, not the album version.
Ugh, this is going to screw up my word count.
Ah, yes. Would you like me to read you verse 3 then?
Yes, please.
Turn around. Every now and then, I know you'll never be the boy you always wanted to be. Turn around. But every now and then, I know you'll always be the only boy who wanted me the way that I am. Turn around. Every now and then, I know there's no one in the universe as magical and wondrous as you. Turn around. Every now and then, I know there's nothing any better. There's nothing that I just wouldn't do.
I don't think I've ever heard those lines.
No, I don't think I have. They're not in the video. But yeah, that's the
No.
version. And then it repeats the chorus, the whole thing, and
But I have heard this light in the dark. This is the one that's confusing me. So that light in the dark is definitely a.
that's in the video. Guess you
I don't
mispaced.
know what to do. I'm always in the dark.
Oh well.
No,
Talking about verse 3, she says, "This is one of my favourite lines from the song, and I think it reinforces my belief that Total Eclipse of the Heart is purely a love song. We had to cut the third verse out for radio airplay. Jim Steinman was gutted about that. It was like cutting up his baby. It's not like cutting up a baby. Don't be silly. It's nothing like it." And again about the
no one in
chorus.
the universe is magical and I mean, it's awful, that
It is
word.
terrible.
I know there's no one in the universe as magical and wondrous as
It's
you.
much better without that verse, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
About the second chorus, which she says, the climax of the song with that high E flat note. It took 5 minutes of build up to get to this moment. In the studio, I always felt that Jim was pushing my voice to its limits. Maybe if I could go back in time, I'd have put the song down by a tone. But then, would it still have the same impact? The whole song is about someone being pushed to the very limits of existence. Thought it was a love song. Don't know. Yeah, the outro, which again isn't in the video and is the standard Jim Steinman piano outro. She says, The song ends with a beautiful outro. Roy Bittan played a decorative and gentle piano part with Rory Dodd's gentle vocals on top. Maybe Jim Steinman can explain what Turnaround Bright Eyes truly means, but I think it's better to keep it a mystery. The song opens and closes with these words, and you imagine it continues forever in the girl's mind. But he's not going to explain it because he's dead. There you go.
There we go.
So, yes, I don't know what you're going to do about your workout. Would you like a sting anyway?
I fixed it
Oh, okay.
while you were talking.
Would you like a
Sting
sting?
me. Yeah.
It is time for Professor J's word count.
Cracking.
Would you like to take a guess for the short version and then the long version?
Still quite long, isn't it? 300 for the short version, 450 for the longer version.
And
And
is that unique words?
no, that's total words. And
Right.
that's more than that, isn't it? I don't know. It's too hot to guess.
I can make a guess on the, considering what we've just been through with Paramore and
It's probably about 180 and 250 for the unique words.
indeed, that's what I thought, but it is surprisingly short. So the short version is 118 words, which is really, really short compared to everything we've been doing, considering how long the song is. So it's 118 words with 473 unique. And then the long version is only 135 words with 620 unique. So to have an almost 6-minute song with only 135 words, unique words, is
the extended version is over 6 minutes. It's 6 minutes 40 something. The single's 4 minutes 29.
Wow, that's them's a lot of words. Okay, I would like to discuss the literal video version of this song.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that someone down below will have the link to the literal version of this video. If not, Google Bonnie Tyler Total Eclipse literal version. It's all over YouTube's.
And enjoy it in 240p glory.
Yeah, it is very. But I was first alerted to it in the late 2000s, so it's been around since the dawn of the YouTube. So I understand why it's so low res. Shall I just go through it all? I think it's beautifully done. Pan the room. Random use of candles, empty bottles and cloth. And can you see me through this fan? Slow-mo doll. Creepy doll, a window, and what looks like a bathrobe. Then a dim-lit shot of dangling balls. Metaphor. Close-up of some candles and dramatically posing, then stock footage of a moon in the sky. So I think, it's really, really funny, this thing. So they've taken the music and they've changed the words, the singing, so that it's literally what's going on in this bonkers shot, in this bonkers video. So I'm going to pull out a few of the choice lines. Why aren't I reacting in this shot? Ringo Starr, blind eyes. Yes, I should be acting, but I'm not. Open shirts. Now it's getting creepy. You can tell by my staring. It's a long time since I've been with a man. Stupid chair. Emo kid is throwing slow-mo dove at my face. I guess that means he just flipped me the bird. Oh yeah. What else? I walk onto a terrace where I think I'm alone, but Arthur Fonzarelli's got an army of clones.
Right.
Fonz's been cloned. They do the Macarena, but I'm still not impressed. Oh dear. Yeah, that is
it is brilliant.
Genius. It's a great song, and it's a video just quintessential 80s bonkers madness. It is a vampire video.
Yes.
Really is a vampire video. It has a very questionable subject nature, which we are not going to discuss. So feel free to think what you think about it. Oh, there is one bit in the literal words that I need to Okay. Look, the fog machine's on. What kind of private school would let in these kind of guys? It started out as Hogwarts, now it's Lord of the Flies. I hated that book. I'm swaying side to side. These dancers need to stop. The gayest man on earth would call this over the top.
Yes.
And then, yes, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how the 80s were, as you said. It's what a time to have been alive.
Different times.
Mm.
Different times. I've got a couple of things that I would like to discuss about this. Just have to get the right thing. Do you want to hear about where it charted?
Love to, yes. Well, everywhere is the answer to that.
I mean, yeah, that is the answer. Where do you think it charted? Generally,
I think it was number 3 in France.
it was indeed number 3 in France. I mean, it was number 1 in a lot of places. Let's just say that much, right?
UK and US was number 1, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Although who knows which
chart.
chart.
Norway, New Zealand, US, US Billboard, and the US Cashbox top 100.
It's another new one.
Yeah. Where's the lowest chart position? Lowest chart position 24, Netherlands.
Oh, right. Dutchies didn't like it.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was the top 40. In the single top 100, it got to 18.
Wouldn't the top 40 just be the top 40 of the top 100? I'm very confused.
So this has sold 6 million copies this time.
The YouTube video has reached 1 billion views last year, I think.
Yeah, 1 billion people have seen this. This lunacy.
What are we getting? About 4 per video. Yeah, right. Guess we need more boys with lasers for our eyes.
Can you stick lasers on Professor Dogger's eyes?
I don't think she'd like it much. She's got some nice sort of steampunk goggles she could put on. I've never tried her with them though, they belong to her predecessor.
What about these sort of Snapchat templates that change your eyes into?
Yeah, I could do that. It would apply the effect to me as well because it'd be on the same camera.
Oh yeah, it's true.
We could do that. I saw a nice one where you can change your skin color to blue or something like that. Okay. Works really well.
Nerf cam.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I'd like to talk a little bit about the cover versions, if we may.
If you would like to, I have no knowledge of this.
Okay, so there are 2 in particular that I want to pull out. First is the well, it's not a cover version; it's actually a duet with a French singer called Catherine Anton, which sold 2 million copies.
So a duet between Bonnie Tyler and this one.
So in 2003, Catherine Anton recorded a pair of duets with Bonnie Tyler. The version of Total Eclipse was called Si Demain, Turn Around. And then she also did, they did Si Tu Serais, which is It's a Heartache. Do you want to go into the words of those?
If you want to. Wouldn't they be the same, but in French?
But then they're not quite. So, so just the first verse. Ton en rond, tu sais que quelquefois je me sens seul et perdu. Est-ce que tu me? So,
I got lost out of that.
Yeah, well, I can read it in French if you like, but I'm live translating here. Je tourne en rond. So I'm turning around. So, which for me is completely different, because in the original one, I think she's asking the person that she's singing to turn around, and not the vampire. She's asking the vampire. In this one, she's saying that she's spinning around because of this problem. C'est que quelquefois je me sens perdu. You know that when I find myself alone and lost, are you going to come back to me?
So she's basically turned it into a love song instead of a vampire song.
It's more of a love song. Yeah.
Got our own way at last.
Yeah. The video for this one is somebody in a sort of snowy car, and it's not a very good video. It's very, very different. I don't like this version because actually I could do Laser Eyes myself.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ah!
sorry. That was a bit random, sorry.
Yeah, thanks for that.
How about that? Is that better? Laser Eyes.
Yes, that's much.
There we go. I feel a bit more like Bonnie Tyler now. Shoots out of her ears, does it?
Mm.
There we go. Okay, it's the future. So this Karine Anton has pretty much got the same voice as Bonnie Tyler. But I find it a bit weird that
not much point. Can you do it?
Yeah. And Bonnie Tyler isn't singing in French, so Bonnie Tyler is singing pieces of it in English. But the one I really wanted to talk about was the version by the Italian singer Laura, which was all over the radio and the music TV when I was in Italy. So I really remember well. So Laura covered the album. It was in her third studio album, C'est Comme Me, in 2010. Then she recovered it with another singer called Neck, and this was released as a single and got to 10, and then it was released as a deluxe edition, got to number 5. So it was really big charting in 2011. This was released, and I think where's the words? For me, the words feel a lot. They really
No.
the words really fit well in Italian.
Right.
I think so. Tornerai. Ogni tanto sto da sola e sono sicuro che non mi ritroverai. So you turn around. So it's not I turn around. Every time I find myself lonely, I am sure that you're not coming back to me.
Right.
Then ogni tanto sono stanca di riascoltarmi mentre piango la mia infelicità. Every time I'm tired to listen to myself complaining and my upsetness, let's call it that. So, I mean, I would say that's the best cover version that I've heard, this one by Laura. But there are others. If you look at the, do you want to hear all the people who have covered it?
Then.
So we've got Springbok did it in 1983. Coffee did it. The Nolans, Nicky French, Greenleafs, the John Hopkins University Octopodes, Julie Mary Class, Mixed Company, SoCal Vocals, Stanford Mixed Company, Jan Wayne Meets Lena, the Dan Band. I mean, there is Tori Amos has done it. Westlife, Freddie Fader and the Dukes, Anke, Lin Yu Chun. Anybody else? I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of people who've covered this and released versions. You must be raking it in.
Well, I note from that was that the first one you said covered it the same year it came out, which is
Exactly.
a bit eager, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also, you mentioned Tori Amos. She got married in the church in this town, which is a bit strange.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Don't know why.
There you go. In this town is where you live, or this town where that?
This town where I live.
Oh, right. Okay. I did not know.
Yes. We'd like one last quote about the recording of it.
Please.
From Bonnie Tyler again. Jim never gave me a demo. I learned the entire song beside the piano as Jim played. We recorded 9 different takes of the song, and we went back to our apartments to listen to each take. I met up with Jim the next day, and we both agreed on our favourite take to work with. Then we went into Studio A at the power station in New York to begin recording it properly. Jim picked the backing band, which included members of Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band. Max Weinberg on drums, Roy Bitton on piano, Steve Buslow on bass, and myself and Rory Dodd in separate vocal booths. We recorded the track completely live, and then Rick Derringer, guitar, and Larry Fast, synths, added their parts later. Rory Dodd, Eric Troyer, and Holly Sherwood created the incredible amounts of layered backing vocals, ocean of sound. We tried re-recording some of the vocal lines, but we found the original guide vocals were so emotionally raw that it was best to keep most of them.
Right.
Yeah. I've heard of Rick Derringer, but I don't know why. I don't know what band he was in.
Do you know? Are you aware of the link between Bruce Bruce and The Sopranos?
Yes, I know he's a guitarist. What's his name? Sylvia?
Yeah, Steve Van Zandt.
Steve Van Zandt, yeah. Which is
Was,
not an Italian name, but he was convincingly Italian during Sopranos, yeah.
Is he not Italian?
I don't know, but Van Zandt's a Dutch name.
That is true. He was born Stephen Joseph Malafronte
Oh, so it's a stage name.
to Mary Henrietta Lento and Nicholas Malafronte. Could be Italian, right?
Oh, I'm sure he is if that's his real name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a friend of Bruce before the formation of the E Street Band. I just thought that was amazing when I found out that that he was that Silvio was
Yeah.
a really, really good guitarist.
Yeah.
I just,
He did a really good job at the acting as well.
I mean, it was an incredible. Sopranos was something else. Yes. So I would say this. I mean,
We haven't done a power score.
oh, we haven't done a power score.
We really should have a sting for the PAL score, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Bit busy at the moment.
Polls.
Professorial arbitrary lyrical system, I guess. Anyone's wondering. Yes, which version are we doing?
Well, let's do the short version.
But she should lose some points for the third verse.
All right, let's do the long version then. Let's get it.
Yes. So, what do we think? I mean, the words fit the music beautifully. The meter, which I always go for.
Yeah.
So I think that's a general point. What are you doing, dogger? Stop it. Get a little bit rest. Lying like.
I mean, it's a bit lazy.
It is
lyrically, because it's like turn around every now and then,
I do
insert
something.
phrase,
Yeah.
and I do something.
Yeah,
So it's
I think the powder keg giving off sparks deserves a point.
Definitely.
So that's 2.
And then that darky lighty bit.
Darky lighty bit. Your love is like a shadow on me all of the time. I don't know what to do, and I'm always in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's 3. Oh, you meant that there was light in my life, now there's only love in the dark.
That's the one.
Yeah. But then, well, I mean, yeah, I think it's got to be sort of like a solid 4 for the single version, I'd say.
4?
But then,
hang on, how is this 4?
1 for the meter, 1 for the powder keg, 1 for the light and dark. I don't know, 3 then.
3. I'll go for 3.
But then we've got every now and then I know there's no one in the universe as magical and wondrous as you, and I know you'll never be the boy you always wanted to be.
2 off, surely.
I think that's unfair. We'll just take 1 off, I think.
So 3 for the. Oh, I've got.
I think
3 for the short version, 2 for the long version.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yes. Which is a bit sad because it's a great song. I mean, this is what we are basically proving to ourselves with the PAL score, is that it doesn't really seem to matter.
Doesn't matter at all.
Certainly not when you take into account financial success. This and that weekend both getting lowish scores and banging in the 1 billion views.
DD McSchmeedy. Would you like a quiz?
Oh, I'd love a quiz. No, we're getting a quiz. Hold on,
Yeah,
Dogger.
quiz.
Stop that. Stop it. She's exploring things she should not be exploring. Do continue.
I mean, couldn't get a quiz on Bonnie Tyler, so it's a quiz
On
on
vampires.
solar and lunar eclipses. I'm just going to take a snapshot of the image at the front of this quiz. I'll share it with you later. It's horrific. Okay. Question the one. Solar eclipses can be seen from the moon. True or false?
False.
I don't think so. It's a different structure, but you can still see an eclipse if the Earth goes between the moon and thing. Let's see. What did you say? False.
Solar eclipses. Yes.
False.
Yes, true.
It's true. Solar eclipse on the moon occurs often as lunar eclipses on Earth. It's just kind of the other way around. It's something in the way, right?
Dogger, can you stop tearing things up, please? Oi! Get up.
Okay. The maximum number of lunar eclipses that take place in a year is 3.
True.
It's false. There are between 2 and 5 lunar eclipses every year. For instance, 5 lunar eclipses occurred in 1879.
Oh, I forgot that.
4 of them were penumbral and 1 partial.
I'm not very good at science.
I haven't defined lunar or solar eclipse, so one's which. The maximum number of solar eclipses that take place in a year is 4.
True.
It's false. There are between 2 and 5 solar eclipses every year. So that if that is up to 5 lunar eclipses and 5 solar eclipses, that could be 10 eclipses a year.
Could be.
Wow. The last time 5 eclipses occurred in the same year was in 1935. The next will be 2206.
That's not going to do us much good, is it?
No, it's not. Oh, God. The maximum number of both lunar and solar eclipses in the same year is 7.
Oh, true.
It's true.
Yay!
There can either be 2 lunar and 5 solar. Yeah. Yes, it is 7. Ooh. The width of the zone of total solar eclipse visibility can reach 320 kilometers. So that's the area which, when you put one, and the moon is in between the sun and the earth, what's the area? True. It's false. Doesn't exceed 270 kilometers. Excellent quiz, huh?
It's really
2 solar eclipses may occur in 1 calendar month.
true.
Now, I haven't done this quiz because I wanted to save it. You know what a blue moon is?
I did have a definition of it at one point.
I think a blue moon is when you get 2 No, is it 2 full moons? No, it's not eclipses. I thought it's 2 things in the same month.
Right.
I wonder if it refers to that. You said what?
True.
True. It's true.
Yeah. Obviously, people use the phrase "in a blue moon" to denote something which happens very rarely indeed. So
Yeah.
it's weird linguistically.
Yeah. Very rare. So there's 1 in 2000 and 1 in 1150. A total solar eclipse can never last more than 7 minutes and 31 seconds.
True.
It's true. Wow. Wow. It's on July 16th, 2186, a total solar eclipse will occur. It will last 7 minutes 29 seconds, which is close to possible maximum duration. The last total solar eclipse over 7 minutes was June the 30th, 1973. Did you see the big one in 1999? It's the only one I've ever seen.
I remember it getting dark a bit, but I didn't look at it.
We buzzed down to I had a friend from Penzance. Penzance is the place right at the end, right? We went down to see it. It's pretty wild. It was only like a minute. It went completely black. It was
Excellent.
pretty,
You spooky.
very spooky.
Mm.
Okay. An annual solar eclipse can never last more than 11 minutes.
I thought we just said it can't last longer than 7:31.
Well, who knows what I said.
True.
True. It's false.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think we got confused with solar and annual. Yada yada. You got 3 out of 8. You're an eclipse noob.
Ah, well, never mind.
There we go.
Do some research and be better next time. Yeah, so that was Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Indeedy doody. I mean, it's just a great song.
Bonnie Tyler. Yes, it is a great song. An excellent video for the time.
Amazing video.
Yeah.
Just 80s. 80s in a. You wanna embrace the 80s? You listen to this song and you watch this video, and that's the 80s in a nutshell. With the hair. Her hair.
Yes.
Playing with her hair a lot in the video.
Yeah.
Doing this.
It's probably got the amount of hairspray. It's not good hairspray. Makes your hair feel terrible. I remember I used to have hair.
There we go.
Okay, great. So
Okay.
next episode will be one of our Song from Each People jobbers, and then
Yep.
it'll be on to my third choice,
Ooh.
which I've changed since last minute.
Oh, cheeky monkey.
Yeah, I'm like that, and that's the way it is. So give us a like, ring the bell, ding, give us a comment, tell us what we're doing wrong. Of course, you'd have to view it to be able to do that, wouldn't you? Yeah, great. Hope to see you all soon. Farewell.
Bye-bye.